Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, this is season 13 finale. You've been with us since season 2, I think.
Yeah.
And what's your takeaway?
This has been a pretty good season. Not just for the Stephen Knight Show, but film-wise, we've had a lot of kind of good hits. I think
Mhm.
over the year we've seen this is kind of the maybe slowdown. I know we have one more superhero movie for the year, but this is Marvel's kind of taken its tumble. So we've seen kind of the downfall, not the downfall, but the downslide of Marvel films. Superhero films are maybe moving on, but we're getting a lot of unexpected kind of hits, like the whole Barbie Oppenheimer thing I never even foresaw coming. So this year has been it's been a good year. It's been full of surprises, and especially at least in the film world. And I'm excited to see what's next.
And you've been married how long now? It's been 2, 3 years.
Yep, since 2019. So
Wow.
4 years.
That was going by. That
I
was
know.
going
Well,
by.
those pandemic years, it's just like everything's a
Right.
blur. So they
Exactly.
count as 10 years. They count as 1 year. Who knows?
Right. Depending on who you're with.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we love Abby. We love Abby.
Of
All right.
course.
What did I call her before? That one time I was
Oh
embarrassed myself.
my gosh. Like Patrice
No, it was start with
or
A.
oh
But
yeah,
no,
Alexandra.
no.
No, I don't know,
Anyway,
but
but I know now.
it was not anything close to Abby. That's for sure.
It was, and y'all just looked at me.
And she said afterwards, "This is your friend?" I was like, "Well,
Right. Well,
it's
listen,
complicated." Yeah,
it's complicated, right? You don't know he used to harass me when we used to work together. But
you
I
hear that,
can
welcome to
believe
Michelle?
it.
the
I can believe it.
Adam just give me hell, okay? And he just looks at you when he does it.
I'm innocent always.
Uh-huh. Well, listen, I'll let y'all take away movie views.
Yeah, sure thing. So I saw actually the number three movie that came out, or in the box office right now, which is Godzilla minus one. And I talked about this last week, but it's a movie I was looking to see. It's been getting good reviews, really great Godzilla movie. So I decided to check it out. And it is a Japanese film, so all subtitles from the same studio that's been doing kind of the new Godzilla series. Storyline wise or lore wise, I don't know if it falls into any of the current lores. It's definitely not related to the American Godzillas. We had Godzilla versus Kong earlier. It's a different universe, but that was a fun movie as well. So this is its own kind of segmented Godzilla movie, and it starts at the end of World War II, and we have our main character. He's a kamikaze fighter pilot who's decided to kind of abandon his post. He knows the war's over. He doesn't want to risk his life for this. So he goes to the small maintenance island. And while he's there, Godzilla attacks. And we get right into the action. This is within the first 5 minutes. This is not like our old Godzillas where we're waiting for him to appear after an hour. He is going in, he is tearing things up. People on the island, the small island, die, and he feels guilt because he couldn't save them. So now he goes back to the mainland, back to Tokyo, and it's the city's devastated. Everything's kind of in rubbles and shambles, and he meets a woman who has a child, which is not even her child, but again, survivors of post-war Japan. And they create this kind of family out of their lives and start rebuilding what's going on. All during this time, we get murmurs of Godzilla coming back, and it's up to him, not up to him, but he takes up the task to kind of fight Godzilla, help stop this trouble once and for all. And overall, it's a really good movie. It did surprise me. I've heard good things, but they did a really good job of not just showing the Godzilla action, which I'll get to in a second, but like the human element. This is again a man with PTSD. He's struggling with the war. He's struggling with trying to find his place and trying to kind of live with those demons of his past, and move on with his life. So you get a lot of human element in the story, but in addition to that, they throw in a lot of good action scenes. So when Godzilla goes to Tokyo, again, He's not slow moving. He is tearing things up, knocking down buildings, picking up subway cars. He is on a tear. And you see this in the trailer, but he also has his like famous laser ray that he warms up and gets ready to go. So if you're here for the action, you're going to get this. You're going to get a lot of Godzilla tearing things up. If you're here for a good story, you're going to get that as well. And I also like the setting because we're not dealing with lasers or anything else coming after Godzilla. These are like, World War II battleships and World War II tanks, and it's really got that old school Godzilla feel in that sense that they're really just giving their all to try to stop this monster. So, highly recommend. Again, surprise movie for me. I didn't expect this to be so good for something like this to come at this time of year, but yeah, check it out.
So my question about, because you have me and I'm hooked. I want to see it now.
Mhm.
But do you think that this new series will be more of the human condition surrounding Godzilla being in the world of man?
Yeah, so that's a good question. It's so hard, and each country has their own different mentality in filmmaking, and I don't know
Mhm.
what the Japanese mentality will be for this. I know the last movie that the studio did called Shin Godzilla looks like it was kind of a what's that movie where they do the camera and they're running around the city from the monster? It has a little bit of that style
Live
to it.
action,
Yeah,
live
so
action.
it was giving you like that element of everyone's kind of running around and they're in the mix and you're actually seeing that part of it. So I think they could very well lean into that. We'll see where they go next. Obviously they destroy Godzilla at the end. No spoilers really there. That's going to happen, but he's not dead. So um, he'll be back, and it'll be cool to see where they take the story. I do want to see a little more of the human element into it, but only if done well, because a couple of the recent American Godzilla movies were too much human interaction, not enough battles. And this one understood that, I think. Again, within 5 minutes,
Gotcha.
we're getting Godzilla tearing things up, but you still get to connect with the human characters.
Nice. Anything else?
No, that was it on my pipeline. I will mention this. So the number one movie, which I thought was interesting, is a boy and a heron, and this is Mizakaya's famous Japanese animated director's last movie after his last movie. He had kind of his final movie about a decade ago, and then this is kind of his swan song. And he's famous for Howl's Moving Castle and other movies of that story. Very legendary director, but this is the first Japanese animated film to open at number one in the U.S. box office. So that one is on my radar too. That's a surprise. He has a history. He has a legendary career. So the fact that this animated film came out, and timing is key, of course. Aquaman's not for a few more weeks, and other big releases, so they timed it just right. But I didn't get a chance to see anything else, but I do want to put that on my list.
Okay. All right. I saw Leave the World Behind, Netflix release with Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Kevin Bacon, and Mahershala Ali. Can I just say A+ for the casting? Just before I even get started. Just A+ for the casting.
Is
Um,
that a movie or is it a series?
so it's a movie. Um,
Okay.
but I like what Netflix did. They put it in the theaters and they put it on Netflix. I enjoy that. They gave you an option. Um, I will say, as a younger individual, not knowing anything, I used to get Ethan Hawke and Kevin Bacon mixed up
Real quiet.
back in the day.
Yep.
And like I thought about that and watching this. I'm like, hey, my guys, like, oh, they are separate.
Yeah.
That's cool. That was cool. Um, so this story is about two families that deal with the stress of series of events that appear to be either Armageddon, a war, or the end of times. We
Mm.
don't know. And I say brilliantly cast because all of these actors are seasoned and they are trained enough to be able to deliver the type of dialogue and the sensibility that a human being would have to go through during this time. And so you have a family who's renting a home for vacation, and then due to circumstances, the owners of the property have to come stay in the property. So they have to be there together. A white family and a black family. And
Mm.
so the movie plays well on the ideology of today and what's going on in the world today. And it also deals with sexuality and people being real under the human condition,
And I heard there
as
was
well
a
as you can. In essence.
I heard there was a
Say that
steamy
again.
scene, the steamy scene between Julia Roberts and
A steamy scene.
that's what I heard.
Steamy?
I didn't see
Steven's
it.
like, I gotta check this out.
I don't know what steamy is, but they definitely had chemistry.
Okay.
So, and I'm sure that purposefully that's what they were going for, and it worked.
Anything with Julia Roberts, I'm saying. Anything
Say
with
it
her.
again.
Anything with Julia Roberts, she's one that don't miss.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's great. And so, I mean, and also too, Kevin Bacon, he's no slouch. Ethan Hawke either, he's no slouch. They're not slouches. So it
It's
was
a great
perfectly
cast.
cast.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I will say this. I'm not going to say spoiler alert because I'm not going to tell the ending, but there are films that may not please everyone because the outcome is not always what you expect. So therefore, people base that off of their total thought of the film, and they may cancel it because of that. I'm one that looks at the total overall film. I do think that to a degree, because this is Netflix, they were going for that Bird Box success again. They didn't quite get there, but this is still a good movie. I think Bird Box was a phenomenon, and it happened during a time when we were living in what was so-called being experienced on the screen. So it made it very unique. Nice try though, Netflix, but I'm going to give you a B. But it's worth watching. Definitely check it out. The next thing I saw on Netflix is anime series, and it's a long series. It's like 3 chapters. Each chapter has 8 books, and it's Dota Dragon Blood, and it's an anime series on Netflix. Can I tell you that I was engrossed? I know nothing about the game. I heard nothing about this. I'm just flipping through, and I found it, and I decided to start watching it, and I got sucked in. The story is bananas. I can't even begin to tell you where it starts, but I'll say this. There's a warrior who becomes endowed with dragon blood, so he's half warrior. Well, he's actually a dragon slayer. He's half dragon slayer, and then he's half dragon. Phenomenal. It's anime. All the fight scenes are awesome. The dialogue is awesome. The artwork is superb. Definitely check it out. It's long. Like I said, it's 3 chapters. Each chapter has 8 books. So have at it. Took me the whole weekend to get through it, but so awesome. So worth it. If you're into anime, you're going to be glued. Trust me. It's good.
Yeah, and I saw a headline. Steven's shaking his head. But
It's long.
yeah, that is long. But they say Netflix has become like. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised by Netflix anymore. But like, they're becoming like the new king of animated animes. Like, they're making so many high quality animes just coming out one after another. So.
Let me ask you two this question. So Netflix has gone up once again, their price, but they justify it with the content they're creating. Do you think it's worth it?
I'll probably still use it because we watch a lot of like shows we've seen before, reruns and stuff like that on it. I think so. They keep surprising us because they're doing good on the animes. They were getting into the Korean dramas and the Korean movies. Squid Games. They're kind of ahead of the curve on a lot of these trends, and of course they have the data to like kind of predict what's going on next. So I think if you're looking for like kind of new, unique stuff that you may not put on your radar, probably worth it. If you're looking for what you usually like, then you might want to move on to something else. But I mean, it's probably can't be any more than the Apple TV subscription. So you might as well just keep your Netflix and not worry about.
I canceled Apple because it's my show's over. Chike, what are your thoughts?
So I think Netflix puts out pretty good quality film. But I would challenge them to add a section where it is strictly independent, maybe of the lower budget film, just a
Like
section
prom?
for them. Say it again.
Like prom, like a prom.
Maybe, yeah, but maybe a little bit more better quality than Prime, but
Okay.
give more independent new artists an opportunity to step up and deliver something. Maybe a 2-picture deal if you like the first one. Just something small to start them out. Netflix, you heard it here first. Just make a section. It doesn't even have to be included in the rest. Let us be able to go to another section to be able to find those films.
Yeah.
So the other artists don't feel like they're, in association with something lesser than what they've, make it elite.
What I'll say about Netflix too, one thing's very frustrating is like their navigation's fine for what you like or the common things, but man, yeah, I wish there was a better way to like organize based on like smaller independent films, and you can't really do that in the app. You're stuck with the main categories, and you could search, but I wish there was just a way to customize your categories to maybe there's stuff like that out there no one will ever know because they promote Love is Blind season whatever over and over again.
Are you
So
hating?
Yeah,
I'm just saying I want more variety, and to Chige's point, they should put it in there, and maybe it is in there. We don't know it because Netflix's way their menu system works is a pain.
Yeah. And I will say too that they're doing a great job with the algorithms by referring stuff to me that they think that I like. They're pretty much on the nose with that. Thank you, Netflix. So, and the last film that I saw is also on Netflix. It's called Nyad, starring Annette Bening and Jodie Foster, and it's a story about Diana Nyad, who is Olympic gold medalist, who is a swimmer, and her goal was she wanted to swim from Miami, Florida from the Keys to Cuba. That was her goal. And she's made several attempts to do it. I think it was three attempts to do it. And it went through how grueling it was for her to gear up to do that, how her ego got in the way. She's fighting the human condition. And Jodie Foster plays, her coach and also her best friend. And their whole relationship takes a metamorphosis. It's a really good human condition film. And what I loved so much, because I hear female artists talk about this all the time, how there aren't any roles for women of a certain age or women of a certain color, or so on and so forth. And it was nice to see 2 women of a certain age in such a powerful film delivering the best that they have with each other. It was just great to see that. So there's hope for projects like that. Just have to make them.
I saw Jodie Foster had a new movie out, and it was good to see her because when was the last time we saw her in the movie?
Well, this was the last time I saw her in a movie. It was this year, earlier this year. This is new.
But I'm saying prior to that, I hadn't seen her in a movie in a while.
So I purposely watched this film on purpose so I could talk about her because she's been a dope woman since she was a young girl. She was a kid killing
What's my movie? What's the Escape Room?
Taxi Driver? No.
Is it
her? I know what you're talking about. Panic Room.
Panic Room.
Oh, yeah.
That movie. Yeah.
I know her from the little girl that lives down the lane. Yeah, she was killing people.
Yeah.
But I bring her up because I know you're going to ask me what am I looking forward to. HBO Max is starting another True Detective season.
Yeah.
And Jodie Foster's starring in it. So I'm very excited about that. Because I know she's going to direct a couple episodes. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. We missed her.
Yeah.
So what is coming out of the pipeline other than this HBO or this Max?
I don't know if I'm really interested in Aquaman. I don't know how I feel about that. I could actually take it or leave it, even though I love my superheroes, but it's the last one of a throwaway era. Like they kind of just threw this film at us. I don't know how much they're going to put into it. I don't even know if it's really going to pertain to any other storyline at this point. So I don't know what to expect from it. But,
yeah.
I don't know.
Same
Color
idea.
Purple.
Yes, that
Color
comes out.
Purple. Color Purple.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've heard it's getting rave reviews. Even from critics that
better.
thought,
It better. It's
yeah,
Oprah Winfrey.
and Ozempic. But they said that they said, I love Oprah. But they said that Fantasia kills it.
Good. She deserves it. She deserves it.
What about you, Adam? What's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, kind of the same thoughts. Aquaman looks fine, but I agree with Chike. I think if you're you need a movie to go to see with the family on Christmas or around the holidays, and it has to be a popcorn movie, go see that one. But The Color Purple also comes out on Christmas, so
Yeah.
that one would probably be the preferred choice. I don't think I'm really into the Wonka movie, but they're doing kind of an origin story or a young Willy Wonka with Timothée Chalamet. That comes out next week. But yeah, I think really the end of the year is going to be just a few of these small things or Aquaman. So
well, I know I'll be watching. I haven't had my time. I've only seen 2 Christmas movies this season, but now the show is done.
you're gonna watch them all.
I want to see the little one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, you better post
Christmas
at least
Lane. Check that one out with Eddie Murphy. Check that one out.
Oh yeah, I want to see that one too.
Lane. Yeah.
Also, too, Adam, what is the name of that movie that's supposed to be coming out on Netflix by Zack Snyder? I can't think of the name of it.
Oh no, you're right.
Epic
So
film.
that's I will say that's on my radar, and I usually look up for upcoming stuff IMDb, so that's why I didn't pop up on my list. But yes, there is a new Zack Snyder movie coming out at December. It's like a part 1, and I know you talked about it a few weeks ago.
I can't think of the name of it right now.
And he's had a lot of duds lately, but I have a feeling this one's going to be good. So
I have a feeling too. He has something to prove.
yeah, he's got to get back on after. I think Army of the Dead was the last one he did, and I don't think it was that good if I remember correctly. But this one's called Rebel Moon.
Yeah, thank you.
I say y'all are the worst critics. Y'all go too hard. But
we're the best critics, Steven.
Before we separate, I have to say, to my co-host Adam, I appreciate you, brother. You hold it down. I've always, from the beginning when we first started interacting with each other, I've always loved your banter. You give it as good as you get it, and I love that.
Well,
y'all both mean.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Steven.
Y'all both mean, but go ahead.
Oh no, Chike, it's the same. I agree. It's been great. It's been a great year working with you. As always, and I do like our banter. I like our kind of different views and doing different things, and you see things I don't even have on my radar sometimes. And I'm not a horror person, so it's good that you capture all those horror films. So it's good back and forth, and it's always good. Like Steven said, it's fun not to be mean to Steven. It's the Christmas spirit, but it's always fun to see what he's watching because.
Adam, why do y'all give me such a hard time for Big Brother?
I know I love because you know what I know. No, I don't want to give you a hard time because I know people watch that show. There's a reason they're popular and they're still on. And my mom will watch this, so I'll say, she's always like, "Why don't?"
No, mom, get him,
mama. Yeah, why are you so mean to Steven? He's telling you a story, and you said, "Oh, we've heard this one already, Steven, last week." Why do you have to? I was like, I said this is because this is what the audience demands. We need.
I just love my perspective. I speak.
So she's in your corner, Steven. But
thank you, mom. Thank you.
Yeah, but no, it's been a wonderful year with you all.
It always is. I appreciate both of you. I really do.
And Steven, a salute to you, brother. Thank you for allowing me to come on your platform and play with you, and have fun here.
I couldn't do it without y'all. That's true. Well, listen, thank you for always letting us know what to spend our time and our money on and what not. And we're right back after this.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.